Friends, we just got the thumbs up. We're gonna hit the road here. Let's wave goodbye to all those strangers to your left as we leave the park behind and head down to the lot. We're gonna say hello to some very important people. First and foremost, our driver Marty. Everyone say hi, Marty. That's right, Marty's gonna get us around the lot at a fast and furious 5 to 10 miles per hour, depending on what we encounter back there. And then my co-host, let's welcome him, our master of ceremonies, host of The Tonight Show, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
JT.
And the greatest driver.
Marty.
You're the best. I love that. Even though
JT
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, guys. As we go, if you have an emergency, drop something off the tram, have sound or video issues, need any assistance at any point, reach up, pull the red emergency cord above you, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to. Otherwise, throughout the entire tour, please stay seated at all times. Keep your arms and legs inside. Hold on to your valuables. The tour will feature sudden tram movements, fire effects, water effects, loud noises, just a heads up. No smoking of any kind, and for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on the tram, and with all that considered, we'll be smooth sailing. We're going to start making our way down the Universal timeline now, guys. You see all these movie posters taking us down the hill and through the years. Let's go back to the very beginning, March 15th, 1915, the day our founder, Carl Laemmle, opens the lot to the public. For the first time ever, invites the public in to see how movies are made. For 25 cents, you could come on property, walk around, and go from set to set, watching them film silent movies right in front of you. The silent film era doesn't last so long, though, after that. About a decade or so, it ends, and our walking tours have to end with it. It's not until July of 1964 we revive some kind of tour by rolling out our glamour trams, as we call them. Those take passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the lot, and that's grown into what we're doing today. We've also fully grown, as you'll see on the right there, guys, into what Carl dreamed us to be, in his words, the strangest city in the world. That is our very own fire station back there, because we are a real city in and of itself. We have our own sheriff's substation and our own zip code. You are in Universal City, the only movie-making city of its kind in the entire world. And we're headed right into the heart of it, our studio lot. We're going to see our front lot first, which is the front half of the lot. It's where most of our sound stages are, the first of which you're going to see coming up down here right to your left. Sound stage 12, home to some of our most iconic sets. It's an iconic stage in its own right, guys. It's our oldest and largest. It was built in 1928. It's about 30,000 square feet, but just the first that you'll see as we officially cross from park to studio lot. Here it is, my friends. You've made it in Hollywood. Now, you've seen the park today. You're seeing the studio, Universal Pictures. They both fall under NBC Universal, one of the biggest entertainment companies in the world. Also includes Focus Features, NBC Television, which is celebrating 100 years of. It's NBC's 100th anniversary. Hit shows like the Today Show, Saturday Night Live, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, The Office, many others. We're excited to celebrate that. We can kick it off by seeing the lot and some of our current productions and some of these sound stages. We just had Ted in 9 and 10, our Peacock show with the talking teddy bear. We might see him at some point. He likes to hang out around here. We got 7 and 8, home to Bel Air, which had its 4th and final season, just hit Peacock recently. It's a spin-off of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. They used many of our sound stages. They filmed all over our back lot that we're going to see soon. They even filmed right over here on top of this parking structure to the left. Built a tennis court up on the top of it. Wasn't the first time we used that in production, though, on screen. The Lost World, Jurassic Park, this scene with the lab dangling off the edge of a cliff. This was all done on the side of that parking structure. So we are resourceful. If nothing else, we'll make use of every inch of the lot if needed. But our sound stages can usually get the job done. Just next door, stage 14, that's our second largest. Home to the original Jurassic Park, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. Apollo 13, we recreated Mission Control inside there, a lot easier than taking a whole cast and crew to real-life Mission Control, where they're certainly never planning on having a film crew. We do try to stay out of your way as much as we can out in the real world. That's why we have a studio lot to begin with, and the sound stages definitely help us do that. These coming up to the right, 16 through 19, more TV history. Hacks, HBO Max show with Gene Smart. They're working in them right now, working on season 5. These are just home to a brand new sitcom for us that just hit Peacock. It's called The Paper, a spin-off of The Office. I've actually got some of the stars of it. They're going to tell you a little more about it.
Hi, Studio Tour.
We're here on the lot where we film The Paper, which follows our characters' day-to-day lives as employees of a struggling newspaper, the Toledo Truth-Teller.
That's right. Unlike many other TV shows, The Paper uses multiple cameras and a variety of shot types and movements to give our show a true documentary feel.
Because the camera is always around whenever we're on the set, it's important that we stay in character.
Hey, Oscar, what's your favorite part of working on the lot?
I wasn't expecting you to ask me that. You know what? I love being around talented, wonderful, hilarious people. I also get to work with Chelsea Fry. How about you, Chelsea? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love waving to the trams.
Okay. You can probably stop waving now.
No, it's fine. Let's try.
Yeah?
Speaking of waving, guys, wave to Ted on your left. There he is. Still Joe. He likes to hang out around here. He's welcoming us to our famous bungalows on the left. These little buildings here, small but mighty. They're home to some of the biggest production companies in the business. The producers, the people making all this happen. You've got Death Row Pictures there, Snoop Dogg's production company, Illumination, the team behind the Minions and Despicable Me. Kevin Williamson's office. Coming up here, the writer of Scream. He's directing Scream 7, which comes out next month. Mark Platt Productions after them, the team behind Wicked and Wicked for Good. Alfred Hitchcock's old office is a little further down. You'll see his iconic silhouette on the front. A man we'll talk a little bit more about later on the tour. But then right after that, guys, there's actually a few more sound stages down there. You'll see to the left, 25 and 26. Some of our newest, currently home to St. Denis Medical. That's one of our NBC sitcoms. It's back with their second season Monday nights. I'll give you a little look here at season 1.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center.
St. Denis Regional Medical.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
No, man. That was a test.
Like the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want them to get better.
Pale, kind of blotchy.
It's the other one.
Oh my God, that's much worse. Wow.
All of season 1 is available to stream on Peacock if you want to catch up, guys. Again, their second season is back Monday nights on NBC. These will be the last few sound stages we see for a bit, though, because this is the end of the front lot. This is where the back lot will begin. And on the back lot, we're going to see all of our exterior sets. These are large sets built outside. We'll be driving around and through. I'll tell you all about that soon, but first, we're going to kick things off on the back lot with a bang. We're going to take a little detour out to Skull Island real quick to pay a visit to our old friend King Kong. We're going to immerse you in the world of visual effects. Big part of the industry these days has been for quite some time. It's a whole category at the Oscars. This is a look at on screen how we bring to life some of these various effects. What most people refer to now as CGI, computer-generated imagery. That's a little bit of King Kong 2005. Speaking of, as we start making our way up to Skull Island, guys, I'm going to throw it over to the director of King Kong 2005, Peter Jackson, to tell you a little more about what to expect.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, my friends, the name does not lie. Make sure you stay seated at all times. Keep your arms and legs inside the tram. Hold on to your valuables. We've got a crew clearing a safe pathway in. In the meantime, I'm going to toss it back to Peter there for a second to tell you a little more about Kong. Everything we need to know for making our way in just a second.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been eaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
The island. Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. I'm so sure.
King Kong 360 3D. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little shook up in car one. You still with me there, car one? Car 2, 3, 4, all skulls intact, thumbs up, still alive. Most of you. There you are, car. Oh. You guys are still alive, and I still have a job. That was some of the most advanced 3D technology in the industry, brought to you by Weta FX, based in New Zealand. They are behind visuals in films like King Kong, The Lord of the Rings, The The new Superman from Warner Brothers, working the last season of Stranger Things, the Avatar movies, won their 7th Academy Award for those recently, nominated again this year for the newest Avatar film. The screen's 40 feet tall, 180 feet wide, all brought to you by Weta FX. Now we're gonna escape from Skull Island and wind our way further into the backlot. See all those exterior sets. Your first examples, the Metropolitan sets, tend to be our busiest. It's a lot easier to film here than in real life big cities, which is what this is supposed to replicate. They're busy right now, big productions in there. You can probably tell. I can't tell you anything about what that is, but I can't stop you from looking, seeing what you might see, Googling things. On screen you'll see some highlights of them over the years, movies, all in the clip here. But I can throw in TV production, Bel Air filmed in there a lot, American Ninja Warrior, built your obstacle course in there every year. Just had a Verizon commercial with Kevin Hart that taped in there, music videos from Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, U2, Taylor Swift, all kinds of folks. And all kinds of productions, anything you can think of, not just movies, you name it, we can pull it off. A little further down the road on the left, you'll see some sound stages on the back lot. We don't have as many back here as the front lot, but stages 30 through 33 coming up are where a lot of our live audience shows film. The Voice being one of those. You'll see their logo on front of stage 30 where they film. Former voice coach of ours, Reba McEntire, has her own sitcom now called Happy's Place. Films just next door on stage 33. Reba's actually going to tell you a little more about that one.
Hey there, I'm Reba McEntire and welcome to Happy's Place. We shoot our heartfelt comedy right here on the Universal lot. Now, unlike most TV shows, we are a multi-camera sitcom, meaning several cameras capture every scene from a different angle all at the same time. Each episode takes about a week to make, from the first read-through of the script to rehearsals to taping in front of a live studio audience. And let me tell you, every step is a blast. Enjoy the ride and we'll see you at Happy's Place. I'm starting to sweat, but I was thinking about it. The men are the ones that's supposed to ask the women out. That hasn't been true for 30 years. I haven't dated in 30 years.
Happy's Place. Friday on NBC.
That's all happening to your left over there in stage 33. They're back Friday nights with their second season. They're right behind that little body of water you might notice. We call that the Hollywood Ocean. We have a lot of history on the lot with that back to the 1930s, but I prefer it in 1954 when we turned it into the Black Lagoon. As in Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of our classic monster movies. We are heading right into monster territory now, guys, and we're about halfway through the tour. It's a good time to remind you, if you have an emergency, drop something, can't wait to use the restroom, need any assistance, reach up, pull the red E-cord. I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to. Otherwise, remember, stay seated at all times, especially as we make our way right here into the heart of monster territory, what we call Little Europe.
He's in the woods. Get out the back house. Freeze all the men you can. Lock the women indoors and wait for me. I'm ready. Your torches and go.
And here we go, guys. Just like all those angry villages, right through the streets of Little Europe, the birthplace of the monster movie. Films like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Wolfman, all filmed right here. A huge part of our legacy. You look around, you also see how colorful it is. That also makes it a really good place to be the good place with Kristen Bell and dancing.
Eleanor Shellstrom are dead.
The fountain to the left, right there on screen, and that shop on the corner with the red and blue doors, windows. That's the yogurt shop right there on screen where this scene takes place.
Bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
No, it doesn't, Kristen. What does sound awesome, though, guys, is the Court of Miracles on the right. That part of Little Europe, featured in films like Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, to take it back to the monsters. Our monsters, got to give them credit where credit's due, guys. They kept us in business back in the 30s and 40s. So without them, very likely none of us would be here doing any of this today. But coming out of Little Europe, some cool new stuff right there, guys. All the flowers and greenery there, those white buildings, all that's just been added recently. Little Europe used to be about 3 times the size it is now. We lost about 2/3 of it in the 60s to a wildfire. And I believe that's the first we've added to it since, in the white buildings back there. That's just new construction. I can't tell you what that's for, but a lot of clues. You see the signs are in Greek, so that classic Grecian style. Obviously, it's something that takes place in Greece. It's bleeding into the Denver house, though, that little house back there. They've been building into it. The Denver house is normally a whole separate thing from Little Europe. We call it the Denver house because it's on Denver Street, which used to be a part of our Western sets. Obviously, not the Western look anymore. It's been slightly repurposed, but we're about to see our Western sets more up close and personal. But Denver Street there was originally looked like this. Again, it's been repurposed, but we call the Western sets that we have still 6 points. And that's because originally there were 6 streets that all led to the middle of them, which is coming up on your right-hand side. Denver Street was one of those original 6 streets. And there's what remains of them to your right, getting a little facelift of their own over here. As we turn up Steven Spielberg Drive, you'll see that to the right, and then we're going to head out to some Spielberg territory, actually. Our next destination is the setting of his first big hit back in 1975. We're going to be talking about the first ever summer blockbuster. Comes out summer of 75, puts Spielberg on the map. He'd only done a few TV movies before then. If you're not sure, if it's not ringing any bells for you guys, this might help you out. Bottom. 2 notes, that's all it takes. You probably know now we're talking about Jaws. Lovely day for a trip to Amity Island.
That was a real close-up shot of you. See the detail.
We are again on Steven Spielberg Drive, guys, and of course, his impact with the movies he's made for us is undeniable, but also just his influence on the lot itself. This road is the longest road on the lot. It's going to take us quite a ways in the rest of the tour. The Metropolitan sets that you saw earlier, he is the creative director behind them. He was the brainchild of the Metropolitan sets. Their original design, any permanent changes that are made to them have to go through Spielberg. So we like to call him, as in we, I mean me, I like to call him the godfather of Universal. Again, his impact undeniable. And that all kind of goes back to Jaws a little bit there. Starting with Jaws and then going on, E.T., Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Jurassic Park, of course. He kind of becomes known for his work with practical effects. Mechanical monsters like some of these in Jurassic Park. Of course, the shark in Jaws and E.T. himself. He's no stranger as well to visual effects. Jurassic Park actually is impressive as some of the mechanical dinosaurs were in that. It was also revolutionary for visual effects. His team of engineers, filmmakers, puppeteers, all kinds of folks that came together to develop the technology they used to create the visual effects for the dinosaurs in that movie. Revolutionized things, changed the game, really created the foundation of CGI as we know it. So I know it's pretty obvious how influential he's been, but we, gotta give him credit where credit is due. We'll get a lot of Spielberg history throughout the tour as well, and he's staying busy. His next film slated to come out this June. It's called Disclosure Day. Kind of another alien UFO thing. We're excited to have him back into some familiar territory. But his story all started right here on this lot, guys. And how it started, it's kind of a crazy story. I'm not sure you'd believe unless
my entire career
he told
began
you.
with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. This was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world on locations, but most of it was focused in those days in the 60s on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
And the tour never had bathroom breaks again, but I think it all worked out for the best. Rather happy that Spielberg did that day. It's hard to imagine, again, the industry without him. And again, still busy at 79 years old. So we're very grateful for what he's done for Universal, especially. Talking about Jaws, again, his first big-time chance at making a movie. He had done 2 TV movies before that. Jaws was actually supposed to come out around Christmas of 1974, but got delayed to the next summer because he had so many problems with the shark never working. It's supposed to be a Christmas movie, believe it or not. But again, that all kind of worked out the way it was meant to. Summer wasn't a popular time to release films back then, but it was so successful. It becomes, again, the kind of first ever summer blockbuster. Now summer is the busiest time of year to release films. And we're pulling into town, guys. I got good news to share. They caught the shark. If you were in the mood for a little beach trip today, again, nice day for it. We'll check in with our friend George. He's down there diving, doing one last sweep, making sure everything's all right. I think that's him right there. Took a lot of commotion, though. Let's see. George, buddy? Hey, how's it going, George? How's it looking down there? Everything all right? George, what is... what's that? What's going on? George, I guess it's probably just a scratch from the coral or something. We're gonna move behind this dock though for safety, just in case. Now more than ever, keep your arms and legs inside the trim. There could still be a shark in the water. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of smiling for a shark attack, guys. I hope that means you all survived. Yes, thumbs up. Limbs intact, mostly. Most of you still with me. Alright, good. Okay. Looks like you're all still there. Guys, seems like they still need some time getting a handle on the shark problem in Amity, so we're gonna get out of here quickly. We'll say goodbye to Amity Island and our poor friend George. May he rest in peace. Or pieces, perhaps. We'll head down to our next destination, Old Mexico. We're gonna leave the sharks behind, but maybe bring the water with us as we talk about how we could add water to a set if you wanted. You look around here in Old Mexico, nice lovely day again, but let's say the scene you're gonna film doesn't call for a nice lovely day. Maybe the director wants to, change things up, add some weather elements, things like thunder and lightning. Now, you don't have the budget for visual effects, so we gotta use practical effects instead. This means, again, they're done on set in real life. So, thunder and lightning, that's coming from strobe lights and speakers. Simple stuff. Now, they want to add rain to the mix. What we'll do there, essentially, is raise a sprinkler system high above set. And from that point, you flip the on switch. And there you go. Movie making magic. If you got a sprinkler at home, you got a movie waiting to be made. Now, rain by itself might make a scene feel sad or romantic, but throw in all those thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. Suddenly the tone shifts. And things have become ominous. Maybe there's something dangerous coming. Maybe it's coming just around the corner. Hey, watch out back there, guys. Looks like we are actually caught in a flood. You might be in the everywhere. Watch it. Hey, sorry guys. Look, if it seemed like I knew that was coming, I promise I did. That was the Flash Flood, the first attraction ever added to the tour in 1968. before we can be swept away with it, we'll head back up this road, get out of here, guys. We're going to pass by Amity Island, actually, again. I know I talked about Jaws a lot, but Spielberg actually can tell you more about Jaws, how it made its way to the lot.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned.
We'll trickle down the food chain now, guys, from sharks to chickens, smaller yet equally terrifying. Next, the Chicken Ranch on your right, built back in 1982 for the best little whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. A fully practical set, one of our largest. That means in terms of sets, practical that you can film on the inside and outside, as opposed to a facade, which would just be the front and two sides of the building. We'd only use facades for exterior shots. But right here on Colonial Street, guys, you're going to see all large practical sets. This is home to Ted recently. That's his house on screen, and in real life to your right. It's been painted white, but same house there.
Let the festivities begin.
How many we got?
Well, let's see. We got 20 cartons.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Oh, come on, Johnny. We're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
And Ted's house was painted white recently for a brand new show that was filming in here for months last year. It's called The Burbs. It stars Keke Palmer. It's coming to Peacock next month. And it was inspired by the movie The Burbs with Tom Hanks, which also filmed on Colonial many decades ago. Right there is a bit of it. Some other highlights of Colonial as well. Music videos for Nelly and Kelly Rowland. And perhaps our biggest production here, ABC's The Desperate Housewives. This is Wisteria Lane. Long before it was Wisteria Lane, as it was Mockingbird Lane back in the 60s for the Munsters. You'll see the original Munsters house to the right, the pinkish purple one there. A lot of history with the horror genre, of course, all over this lot, particularly with those monster movies, but even right here on Colonial, the Munsters, Buffy the Vampire Slayer filmed an episode here, A Nightmare on Elm Street 6, and it only gets spookier. As we head back up the road, guys, the rest of the tour at this point pretty much is either horror history or Spielberg history. We are turning back onto the last stretch of Steven Spielberg Drive, again, longest road in our lot. It's going to go all the way up this hill. It is a good time to let you know we're about 15 minutes from the end of the tour here, so just one last reminder, if you have an emergency, need any kind of assistance, reach up, pull that ready cord, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to. Otherwise, remember, stay seated at all times as we head up the last stretch of Spielberg Drive, what we've nicknamed Wilderness Road. As you can kind of see around us, guys, we've left this part of the lot kind of untouched, a more natural setting. You see the deer crossing signs. We have a lot of wildlife on the back lot, deer and coyotes and sharks, sometimes, a lot to look out for. We've used this in things when we need that kind of setting. Bird Box with Sandra Bullock from Netflix filmed a little blurb here on Wilderness Road. The Fox show 911 with Angela Bassett flipped a limousine down that road once. We created a mudslide on it as well. Now that limousine, let's talk about that. Anytime you see a vehicle on screen, guys, we call it a picture car. And you're about to see some of our most famous picture cars right here, including one of our original glamour trams from 1964. That's what the trams looked like when the tour started. Now here with, again, some of our most famous picture cars. We call any vehicle that shows up on screen a picture car. It could be a plane, train, automobile, a tram, if you will. Still call it the picture car on set. Now let's say you've been driving one of these picture cars all night long down the highway, and it's dark and raining, and you're tired. You need somewhere to pull over, get a good night's sleep. Perhaps you could do that right here at the Bates Motel. The iconic, infamous motel from Hitchcock's classic 1960 Psycho. Speaking of, guys, there's the owner of the motel right now, Norman Bates. Guys, everyone say hi. Be nice. They do have vacancies. If you need a room, maybe we can put a word into him. I was going to say I don't think he's too busy right now, but it looks like he's in the middle of escorting someone to their car. What a chivalrous thing to do. The trunk's kind of an odd place to put someone. Maybe we'll try the next place over, guys. Hey, Norman, it's so good. We just changed our mind. No need to take it so personally. Or come any closer to the tram. Watch out, back Okay, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's gotten into him today. He's normally a nice guy. Nice guy. Since I'm so testy today, my only thing I can think of is we're passing the original Psycho house to your left, where Mother lives. He's very protective of Mother. If you see her up there, just wave, say hi, pay her respects. We don't want to upset him any more than he already seems to be. And we're going to veer off the beaten psychopath out of Hitchcock territory and back to guess who? Spielberg, that's right. Here we are now moving into one of the sets of Spielberg's 2005 sci-fi epic, War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good because of me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now close. Robbie, get in. Get in.
This is one of the largest sets ever built at that time, largely due to the sheer size of the plane. On the left, that's a real 747 Spielberg and team bought from an airplane graveyard just north of here for about $60,000. That's a pretty good deal if you're in the marketplace, but it did cost them about $200,000 just having it delivered to the lot. It's always shipping fees. That's how they get you. They had to slice it in 4 parts, chop off the top just to get it under the highway overpasses and onto property. Spielberg would have you think it's the aliens that do that to the plane in the movie, but it was really just a logistical problem that they found a creative twist to after the fact. And we're going to stick with that alien UFO theme, guys, here as we make our way from a veteran like Spielberg to a more recent filmmaker to call Universal home. As we head out to Jupiter's Claim, just about our last stop, this is one of the sets from Oscar winner Jordan Peele's latest feature film, Nope, and he's going to tell you a little more about what to expect.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, I do. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Not looking so live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Okay, sorry guys. Our tram got stuck for a second there. I don't know if it was the UFO activity or something else, but we're not gonna stick around to find out. It sounds like things are getting strange in Jupiter's Claim. Emphasis on sounds like. Jupiter's Claim and the movie Nope is a great example of sound design. We have an E-cord pull. If it's a medical emergency, please pull the cord one more time. If not, hold tight. Be back to assist you in just a second.
Right here.
Alrighty, back in action here, guys. Coming out of Jupiter's Claim. As I was saying, the rest of our tour was a lot of horror history. Jordan Peele has been keeping that going for us. He won his Oscar for his very first film, Get Out. A connoisseur of horror these days, so we're excited to have his legacy on the lot. Talking about sound, though, that movie is a great example of sound design, how important sound is in production. It's its own category at the Oscars, which are coming up soon. We're excited about that. But we are headed back to the park at this point, guys. Our last few stops. Getting kind of weirder and weirder. One last thing you can see on the right there, that's what we call Falls Lake. It's a large basin right there. We can fill that whole thing with water. It takes about 3 days to do. Then you see that large blue backdrop there. We can use that to add in backgrounds to what they film with visual effects. Long before we had visual effects, we had Falls Lake. This is where Norman Bates dumped Marion Crane's car in Psycho. 1960, it was about 27 years later, we built the backdrop for Jaws: The Revenge. That's an example of a painted backdrop before CGI was what it is now. Everything else in the clip, all backgrounds added in with visual effects. It's a lot easier to film these kinds of scenes on Falls Lake than on an actual body of water where we have far less control over the environment, and another great testament to why we need a studio lot in the first place. And whether it's the visual effects, practical effects, sound design, art direction, these are a few of many moving pieces that all have to come together at the end of the day to make that final magical product you see on screen. And that's what the tour is all about, taking you behind the scenes, not just to see the sets and things, as cool as that is, but to get some insight into how all of it works. All the people and departments a part of it, of which there are many. It truly takes a village, as they say, and that was our little village you just saw there, guys. All 400 acres of it, not so little in reality. The largest studio lot in LA, the oldest as well, and one of the busiest in the entire world, with no plans of slowing down anytime soon. We've got just one last turn to make. We're going to be pulling back into the park here, though, my friends, to get you on with the rest of your day. We're open till 7 o'clock. You got time to go out there, have some more fun. As we pull in, just make sure you stay seated till we come to a full stop and have the gates lifted. Then you'll be free to go there. We thank you guys for coming to spend time with us today at the tour where it all started, before we ever had rides or parks anywhere else. A big thanks to any of our annual pass holders on board. If you're with us, always grateful to have you guys back. And big thanks to our driver, Marty, guys. Before we part ways, how about we give it up for Marty? A round of applause for our driver. Make some noise for him. Without Marty, we would have had to walk all 400 acres. I don't think we would have enjoyed that. Very grateful for all the drivers and for all of you. Once this tram is out the way, you'll be good to go, and those gates are gonna be coming up. Thanks again, guys. As they say in the business, that is a wrap for us at the studio tour. JT signing off. If I don't see you again here, I'll see you in the movies. Have fun, stay safe, guys. Enjoy the rest of the day, and roll credits.